Hi, and welcome to Inside the Cage, the show that brings you through the ins and outs of the MMA world. I'm your host, Danny Lopez, and on today's show, we're talking boot camp. That's right, we're going to head over to Joe Stevenson's Cobra Kai gym in the city of Victorville, where we're going to be talking with Johnny Espinoza and Doreen Hernandez. They're going to tell you about this boot camp program that they're put together and the amazing results they're getting from that. Later on in the show, we're going to introduce ourselves to you because being that this is our first episode, you should get to know us a little bit better. And then finally, we're heading over to Las Vegas. We're on May 25th. King of the Cage Promotions is putting on Future Legends number 14 at the Eastside Cannery Hotel and Casino. We're going to do some pre-fight interviews with some of the fighters that are going to be participating on that night's event. And we also want to give a shout out to Joe Condon, who will be fighting in the Philippines in the city of Manila on July 5th for a title fight. So good luck and bring back that belt. So stick around, we got an exciting show for you as we take you inside the cage. Hi, and welcome back to Inside the Cage. I'm your host, Danny Lopez. As you can see, I'm busy working on the editing portion of the show, trying to get the show up and running by Friday. We got a deadline to meet, and so we're going to try to do that. Right now, I want to take you over to Doreen Hernandez and Johnny Espinoza, who's going to tell you a little bit more about that boot camp program. And then later on in the show, I'm going to send it over to my co-host, Mike Phillips, who handles the calendar section. He's going to tell you about the upcoming events. Then we're going to have a Q&A session with Joe Stevenson as he answers your questions, a session we call Just Ask Joe. When we want you to submit your questions to the link below, Danny_Lopez at mvpproductions.tv. So stick around, we got an exciting show for you.
Hi, my name is Johnny Espinoza. Myself, along with Doreen Hernandez, we are the founders and creators of PFN Boot Camp, which is Perseverance, Fitness, and Nutrition.
I'm Doreen Hernandez, alongside with Johnny Espinoza. We are the co-founders of PFN Boot Camp, standing for Perseverance, Fitness, and Nutrition.
Through this boot camp, it's for all fitness levels. We have ages ranging from 16 all the way, I think our oldest boot camper has been 66. We accommodate for the modifications for every exercise to make it easier, to make it harder. This way it just keeps everybody moving, everybody engaged. We have a lot of weight loss success because the majority of our clients are weight loss.
In our boot camp, we're proud to say that the results that we have are between 20 pounds to 120 pounds, all ranging within first couple months up to a year.
Most of our boot campers average anywhere between about 15 to 20 pounds in their first 3 months. And that's due to the nutrition focus that we emphasize on.
I'm one of the personal trainers of PFN Boot Camp. My goal is to teach the public to start living a healthier lifestyle.
We really try to dial in on clean eating, throw the diets away, just clean up what you're already doing. Get those good habits going.
Our boot camp is designed for all age groups and all fitness levels. We specialize in designing diet plans for an individual, depending on what their goals are, on what their fitness level is, on what their end result might be. We'll design a specific meal plan for them. The cardio classes we teach every morning are absolutions. So if you want to come in and just work on core, we do a full hour of abs and mixed up with a little bit of cardio. And then we do our BLT class, which stands for butt, legs, and thighs. And in that class for a full hour, we focus on just straight legs, butt, cardio, all the large muscle groups. 3 days out of the week, we teach a class called RIPT. RIPT is a class that is a full body workout. It stands for resistance, intervals, power, plyometrics, endurance, and at the end, we talk a little bit about diet.
And there you have it, boot camp. I want to thank my guests, Johnny Espinoza and Doreen Hernandez, for their involvement with our show today, and we wish them continued success with their boot camp program over at the Joe Stevenson's Cobra Kai gym in the city of Victorville. Now I want to take a moment to introduce myself to you. As your host, I think you should get to know me a little bit better, so I'm going to do this visually. you like me now? Just kidding. Always wanted to say that. Anyway, that covers me, and now I'm going to take you over to Mike Phillips, who's going to be handling the calendar section of our show, and I'm going to let him tell you a little bit more about himself.
Hello, I'm Mike Phillips, and I'll be hosting the calendar section of Inside the Cage. A little background on myself: I have been writing a newspaper column for the last 7 years called MMA Update. And of course, this episode I'm going to tribute to all the fighters and promoters that have helped me out. And here's a list of some of the fights that these local guys that I cover are on. The first one is May 18th, a submission championship event held at the Citizens Bank Arena in Ontario, California. The next one is May 24th at a disorderly conduct event held at the Ramada Coco Key in Omaha, Nebraska. On May 25th, we have a King of the Cage event held at the Eastside Cannery in Las Vegas, Nevada. Really looking forward to that fight right there. We're going to be doing post and pre-fight interviews. There's 7 fighters from my area that I cover for the newspaper that are going to be fighting there, and it's always exciting to see them fight live. And we have from Joe Stevenson's Cobra Kai in Victorville, we have Adrian Barti, John Flores, Jonathan Noriega, and we have Ramon Jauregui. This is the one guy I don't want to get his name wrong, because this guy is on a 3-fight winning streak. He's 3-0 for King of the Cage, and he's always exciting to see fight. Also on that card, we have Jamie Coronado and Justin Hernandez from the Total Training Center in Apple Valley. Also on May 25th, we have a Gladiator Challenge event. It's held at the Twilight Park in Wood Lake, California. For more information on that, you can visit www.gladiatorchallenge.com. On May 31st, at a Bama Bad Beat 9 event held at the Commerce Casino in Commerce, California, we have Chris Cawley fighting for that. He's a local guy that I've been covering for years. Enjoy seeing him fight. He'll be fighting for the 145-pound title. He was also voted by the fans the 2012 High Desert MMA Awards for TKO of the Year. June 1st, we have another King of the Cage event. This time it'll be held at the Edgewater Casino in Laughlin, Nevada. And also I'd like to give a shout out to Rocky France. He will be fighting June 1st at a Coliseum Combat event in Kokomo, Indiana. The reason I give him a shout out is I grew up in Wabash, Indiana, and he is from Wabash, Indiana, and he owns a gym there called MMA Minded, and I'm just excited that MMA is now in my small town. Wish him luck in his 170-pound title fight. Also, if you're a promoter and you would like your event on the Inside the Cage calendar, you can email me at mike@highdesertmma.com. I know July 5th is quite a long ways away, but I would also like to congratulate Joe Condon. He will be fighting for the 160-pound title belt at King of the Cage in Manila, Philippines.
Well, that covers the calendar section of our show. We want to thank Mike Phillips for his involvement and his valuable contributions to the show. But there is one event that we do want to make sure that we give a shout out to, and that's the Gladiator Challenge, which takes place Sunday, June 30th at the Saboba Casino. And last but not least, we want to send you over to our third member of our show, and that's Joe Stevenson. He's the one who's going to be answering our questions on the Q&A session called Just Ask Joe. So now we're going to send you over to Joe Stevenson, and let's get some questions answered. Well, that pretty much wraps it up for our very first episode. We want to thank you for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you again on another episode. Until then, we tell you to keep punching, kicking, grappling until we take you back inside the cage. We want to thank Mike Phillips for his contribution to our show. It's very valuable, and he's okay. Cut.
And also, I'd like to do a shout out for Rocky France. He is fighting June 1st at a. We're cutting this, right?